Hello, I'm Chian Lee, a computer vision researcher at Omnis Labs Company. This course will help you acquire the basic knowledge and skills for deep learning. In this session, we will briefly go over the course curriculum. Also, we will have our first lecture. The first lecture will be the Introduction to AI Technology. First, let me introduce Omnis Labs Company. Omnis Labs Company is the company that developed DeepBlock. DeepBlock is an AI platform that allows users to train and deploy AI models without coding. DeepBlock provides a free trial, so please visit our website deepblock.net to try it out. Now, we will introduce you about this course. This course will let you acquire basic knowledge in deep learning. You will learn basic programming skills and knowledge necessary to implement deep learning models. This course is designed with minimum programming and mathematical contents so that people with non-tech background can easily understand. Through this, we aim to enable learners to understand AI technology even if they lack knowledge of AI or computer science. However, in order to take this course, you must have a basic understanding of Python programming. If you do not know how to program in Python, please make sure to study Python programming before taking this course. After taking this course, you will understand the basics of deep learning. Also, after completing this course, you'll be able to develop an image classification AI model in Python yourself. You'll also learn how to set up AI infrastructure for developing and utilizing deep learning models. You'll learn about the pros and cons of various deep learning frameworks. Moreover, you can learn about the basic syntax of popular deep learning frameworks. In addition, learners who have taken this course will be able to start learning advanced AI topics such as computer vision or data science. Here are a few things you need to prepare before taking this course. First, you should have Python programming skills, and you must have a computer to take this lecture and practice. In addition, you must have a GPU cloud or a computer with GPU device to train deep learning models and to run inference. We will use NVIDIA's GPU and have at least 8 GB of VRAM. Also, it is recommended that the DRAM capacity be 16 GB or more. And lectures are based on the Ubuntu 20 LTS version of the operating system. Here is the class schedule. In this class, we will learn the basic concepts of AI technology. Next, you will learn how to build an infrastructure for developing AI models. Next, you will learn Linux and Python libraries necessary for learning AI programming. After that, you will learn about deep learning theory, TensorFlow, and Keras, and how to build an image classification AI model. After learning the basic knowledge of computer vision and PyTorch, this course ends. This concludes the course introduction. Now we will start our first lecture. The topic of this lecture is to explain what AI is. Let's see what AI is. AI is intelligence demonstrated by machine. Here, machine refers not only to the machines we see in factories, but also to human-made devices such as computers, automobiles, refrigerators, and robots. So, what is intelligence? According to Wikipedia, intelligence can be defined as shown in the slide. Now, let's take a closer look at the different abilities shown on the slides. Let's look at what understanding is. Understanding is the ability to model an object. Let's think about it in an easier way. If you think of a storage space in the brain as a concept, storing the shape of an object in this storage space can be regarded as understanding. And learning is the process of gaining new understanding. Many people may ask, what is emotion? First of all, emotion can be understood as a special pattern or state of the brain circuit. Emotion itself is not considered a component of intelligence. In the slide we saw earlier, emotion is not a component of intelligence, but emotional knowledge is a component of intelligence. Emotional knowledge is the ability to perceive, use, understand, and manage emotions. If you see emotion as a state of the brain, recognizing and managing this state is emotional knowledge. Let's learn a little more about the human brain. Currently, in neuroscience, brain is regarded as a special circuit that operates based on chemical action. And you can think of this circuit as having the functions of intelligence described earlier. Now, let's see how computer scientists classify AI. There are many ways to classify AI, but in general, it can be divided into 3 categories. Weak AI is an AI that has the ability to perform one task. All current AI technologies can be regarded as weak AI, and they are more efficient than humans in certain tasks. Strong AI, or artificial general intelligence, refers to AI that can perform various tasks just like humans. Currently, various organizations and companies are trying to create this AI, and many people are concerned about the creation of such AI. Scientists also classify AI that significantly surpasses human brain as superintelligence. Now, I will explain what deep learning is. To put it simply, deep learning is a mathematical model that connects inputs and outputs. The way it works is also distinctly different from the brain I described earlier. And if we can classify them as we learned in the previous slides, all AI models implemented with deep learning techniques are weak AI, specialized in performing specific tasks. We will learn more about deep learning after a few more lectures. Deep learning is one way to implement AI. Therefore, AI and deep learning is not the same thing, and it can be said that deep learning is one of many ways to implement AI. I think it'll be helpful for you to understand the term machine learning, which is used commonly these days. Machine learning is also one of the ways to implement AI. A machine learning algorithm is an algorithm whose performance is improved through the use of data and experience. And one of these machine learning techniques is deep learning. If you cannot understand this, it'll be easier to understand if you think of performance as accuracy and algorithm as a program that performs a task. Now that we know that deep learning is one of the machine learning techniques, let's learn more about machine learning. Machine learning is currently the most popular approach to implementing AI. Let's look at the approaches to implementing machine learning. Machine learning techniques can be divided into supervised learning, unsupervised learning, semi-supervised learning, and reinforcement learning. There are several other methods, but these 4 are the representative approaches. Let's go through them one by one. The first to introduce is a method called supervised learning. This is a way to build a function that returns an output when given an input. Here, you can think of the function as an AI. And to build this function, in the supervised learning method, the function is changed using input and output pairs. Let's use an analogy to help you understand. For example, when several pictures of an animal and the name of the animal are given, AI function remembers the pictures of the animal, and when the new photos are input, AI guesses what animals are in the photos. This is a process of building an AI model with a supervised learning approach. Supervised learning is the most used method among machine learning methods. The deep learning method, which is one of the implementation methods of machine learning AI, also uses the supervised learning method the most. Unsupervised learning is a method of building an AI model without input-output pairs. Clustering algorithms are a representative example of unsupervised learning. Clustering assumes that certain data can be divided into groups and divides multiple data into groups according to specific criteria. In general, all data is converted to a number or a combination of numbers for grouping. And clustering algorithm usually determines similar numbers as the same group. Clustering algorithms are often used to solve problems such as data classification. Semi-supervised learning is a method of building AI with only a few input-output pairs and a large amount of input without output. It requires a lot of mathematical knowledge to understand how this AI is built. If you want to understand the details, I recommend learning numeric analysis or linear algebra first. Finally, reinforcement learning. Reinforcement learning is an AI implementation method in which an AI analyzes its own results and corrects its behavior patterns based on the results. Implementing reinforcement learning AI model is quite difficult. Therefore, we recommend you to learn about supervised learning first. Reinforcement learning technique can be represented as follows. The robot shown below is a component of reinforcement learning called an intelligent agent. Just think of it as a program or an algorithm. When an agent takes action, the interpreter function observes with the environment and changes the agent's behavior in a way that maximizes the reward generated. The algorithm that adjusts the program or model in such way is reinforcement learning. Here, the agent can be implemented as an AI model. The interpreter can be regarded as a function that calculates the reward. And the model is trained as the agent model is changed based on the reward. Reinforcement learning is closely related to the probability theory. So, if you're interested, we recommend that you study probability theory and deep learning before studying reinforcement learning. Now, I will explain the relationship between the machine learning and deep learning. First of all, deep learning models can be implemented as supervised learning method. In addition, deep learning models can be implemented as unsupervised learning method. Or deep learning models can be a component of a semi-supervised learning AI model. Finally, deep learning techniques can be also used in reinforcement learning. Did you notice something strange? According to the explanation of the previous slide, it seems that there are several types of deep learning techniques, and the neural network seems to be different from deep learning. One thing I would like to say is that you don't have to understand all approaches of machine learning. Also, deep learning and neural networks will be discussed in detail later. So I like to point out that it doesn't matter if you don't understand well now. AI can be implemented in ways other than machine learning techniques. All of the methods here are different ways of implementing AI. If you want to know more about these things, you can take advanced machine learning courses or computer science courses. Of course, taking such courses requires a lot of knowledge in statistics, probability theory, and mathematics. If you do not have this knowledge, we recommend that you learn the basics first. As AI technology is being developed with the goal of mimicking human intelligence or automating human tasks, there are quite few things that AI can do. Manufacturing, for example, is adopting AI technology to automate product quality inspections. Also, in the field of earth science, there are attempts to use AI for weather simulations. In the field of stock trading, lots of companies are using AI to automate trading. In cybersecurity field, AI is attempted to be applied in various ways. For example, AI technology can be used to analyze malicious or abnormal traffic in the network. AI techniques such as deep learning are also being used in natural language processing. For example, chatterbots are being used for customer service. Computer vision will be covered later in this course. To briefly explain, computer vision is a technology to mimic the functions of human eyes. Of course, deep learning techniques are being actively used in this field as well. In addition, AI technology is being actively applied in search technology. Computer addition is a technology field that mimics the function of the human ear, and deep learning is also used in this field. For example, deep learning techniques are being applied to speech translation technology. Deep learning techniques are also being widely adopted in the field of robot control. Image processing is a technique for manipulating images. The computer vision I mentioned earlier is a technology that mimics the function of the eye. Image processing technology is a technology that manipulates images. Therefore, the two terms have different meanings. For example, in the media sector, AI technology is being used to create artificial news announcers. In addition to this, AI technology is also being used to create fake pictures. Lastly, voice generation technology for the visually impaired is being developed using AI technology. As you've seen, AI is currently being widely introduced to various industries with various purposes, and among them, the deep learning plays a significant role. However, not all problems can be solved by AI or deep learning. As I explained earlier, the existing AI technology is weak AI. In other words, most of the existing AI models are developed for the purpose of solving a specific problem. Therefore, it is not yet possible for a single AI model to solve many kinds of problems. Not all problems can be easily solved by AI, and there are still many problems that cannot be solved. AI is not a panacea, and there are many tasks for which AI is not the best answer. For example, in a situation where a problem can be solved with a certain mathematical formula, the formula can be implemented as a program, and there is no need to use AI. Even today, there are many fields where AI technology is not used often, and there are many cases where problems can be solved more easily and accurately with other methods than using AI or deep learning. Problems that are difficult to solve with software, human labor, or human intelligence are also difficult to solve with AI. Please don't think of AI as a means to solve every problem. First, think about the problem you want to solve, and if it is confirmed that deep learning or AI is generally used to solve the problem, then consider developing or using AI. This is the end of today's lecture. In the next lecture, I will introduce how to set up an AI infrastructure and basic knowledge about AI infrastructure. Please prepare a GPU cloud or a computer with GPU device. Thank you.